Alright, here we go. Seriously, your fingers right places at the same time. Yeah, just make it happen, alright? Yeah! Alright guys, come on, 60 seconds! Hey Tony, real or fake? Fake Canadian maple. Whatever, man. What? Alright guys, let's get him buried. 30 seconds. Alright, he's down. Let's go, more dirt. More dirt. Alright, gravestone. Ready. Handle. Bring him down.
Where he came from, no one knew. Though I once heard tell he was kicked out of Castellon, Texas for teaching a mule to play poker, breaking one of the few laws in that frontier town at the time. His goal was to get revenge on his old posse who had packed him with lead and left him with a permanent address under 3 feet of Texas clay, then get dangerously drunk on Applejack whiskey. He was a one-man judge, jury, and executioner on the bloody vengeance trail. He was the Gunstringer. Taking a bead at the cans, Gunstringer tested his aim after the nuisances arising from the dead. Years ago, his old posse had shot him in the back and given him a one-way ticket to Boot Hill. They were the usual gang of samurai cowboys, voodoo priestesses, cutthroat wildcatters, purveyors of iniquities better left unmentioned, like dressing a horse in women's pantaloons, and wavy tube man. Something told him they would not be hard to find. The image of that air-filled betrayer still fresh on his mind, the Gunstringer set out to mark his first target off the list. A lifetime of fierce fistic encounters had left him light on his feet. The Gunstringer was drawn from long days and nights in the saddle. 10 pounds of rawhide and muscle. It was greed that turned his posse against him. Like vultures, they turned on him without a second thought. Twin sheets of flame stabbed out from his hands whenever his guns cleared leather. A gift from the underworld, El Tato Diablo, the Deathbringer. Each bite brought a cleric focus, a will resolute. Those who tasted of it would be forever changed. Wavy tube men are a predictable bunch. When they drink through their pay, they find work at saloons, dance halls, and gynecologists' offices, flailing their arms outside with an air of jollity even the most trail-hardened cowpuncher finds hard to resist. Sensing the Gunstringer's quandary, the wavy tube man doubled his efforts, knowing that if he could take the edge off his opponent's bloodlust, the fight would be his. A better angle and he could do some damage. He needed to leave cover to make his mark. Peeking out would give him a line at the gutless cowards. His enemy was safely ensconced on the other side of the cover. He would have to lean around this cover to bushwhack him properly. As the wavy tube man received his everlasting, the gunstringer felt the hand of fate upon him. He knew that from time to time, whenever the trail got too rough, he could call upon the hand to send his enemies to join the heavenly choir. But at what price, he wondered. To get answers on the brothel madam's location, the gunstringer would have to find the head of the crew and knock him about till he felt like cooperating.
He sprung to the other side like a wildcat.
Gunstringer misjudged his stride and fell short.
He jumped to the other side with the
Power and speed of a wild Mustang. He moved willy-nilly like a skull. Lord Harry, that was close. Very nearly, but he leapt nimble-like to the other side, like a goat. The phrase rough terrain took on new meaning as the gunstringer shook the cobwebs from his head. At the side of the crew chief, the gunstringer paused, flooded with memories and horrors long suppressed. He'd always scrapped more than an ornery badger, and that day had been no different. He went to the camp looking for a fight, not expecting the atrocities he'd never unsee. His shooting streak went up and gone. The roughneck was scheming to brawl. The gunstringer was happy to oblige.
I can't quite put my finger.
A lumberjack's life is a hard one, given the long days and lonely nights. Even so, the terrible union he witnessed that night took the fight out of him and left only night terrors and permanent scars. Now here was their spawn, the power of a lumberjack, the toughness of a gator, and ugliness borrowed in equal parts from both.